Hello friends and welcome back to our channel, Mystery Recaps. Today, I will show you the 2019 horror film countdown spoilers ahead. Watch out and be cautious. At a house party, a few young people can be seen seated around a table. The girls discuss calorie counting, and one of them demonstrates a food tracking app on her smartphone. The other wants to download it, but upon searching for it, she discovers a different app called Simply Countdown. The others inquire about it, and she reads the description, which states that it can predict the exact moment of death. All of them, with the exception of Courtney, want to turn it into a drinking game in which whoever has the fewest lives will drink everything on the table. Courtney also reluctantly agrees to the terms and conditions. Everyone at the table receives between 60 and 30 years of life. Courtney appears distressed as she informs them that she has only 3 hours to live. When her boyfriend, Evan, comes over and drinks instead of her, the others make fun of her and tell her she must comply with the rules of the game and drink. She exits the vehicle and begins walking while he tries unsuccessfully to convince her to return. He leaves in a rage. The app notifies Courtney that she has violated the user agreement. As she continues to walk, it appears as though someone is following her. The app informs her that she has less than 2 minutes to live, prompting her to run inside while the app continues to play on her phone. She shuts it down. Courtney enters the bathroom, becomes increasingly paranoid, and then examines the shower curtain. She then proceeds to drink water. However, here are the drapes. Move once more. She turns around, but something from above seizes her and drops her onto the shower, breaking her skull. She passes away when the countdown timer reaches 0. Meanwhile, Courtney's passenger seat, where Evan was involved in a car accident, is completely destroyed. One can observe Quinn exiting a lift while pushing a nurse's car through a hospital. She enters a room and discovers that one of the patients has not yet consumed his lunch. She knows where he can be found. He is seated on a balcony in a closed hospital wing. This is Evan. To relax him before surgery, she sits with him and engages in small talk. The countdown app, however, indicates that he has approximately 19 hours left. He informs her that his girlfriend was convinced the app knew when she would die. Evan believes that the app knows he will pass away during his surgery. The hospital staff surprises her with a cake for passing the nurse's exam while they are seated and eating cake. The app is the subject of a joke from Quinn, and some of the others have already heard about it. When Scott attains a life expectancy of more than 50 years, both he and Dr. Sullivan laugh about it. Suddenly, a man carrying an overdosed woman enters the room. The doctor examines her immediately on the floor, and Amy instructs Quinn to bring the kit containing the antidote medications. Amy administers it to her, and she regains consciousness. Later, Quinn will depart from work. When the app is advertised to her, she downloads the file, enters her information, and accepts the terms by doing so. The app informs her that she has less than 2 days left to live. That evening, while completing her nursing documents at home, Quinn encounters an issue. Scott, whom she calls for assistance, informs her that she must enter the information from her birth certificate. She retrieves it from her parents' residence. Once she arrives, she searches through her mother's papers and discovers it at the bottom of the stack. When she opens the wardrobe behind her after hearing a noise, she discovers her sister Jordan and her boyfriend. He puts on his clothes and leaves, prompting Quinn to reprimand her sister. After the death of their mother, Jordan is angry with her for parenting her and for not visiting her more frequently. Quinn visits her room when her father awakes and comes to greet her. He is pleased to see her and asks if she would like to visit her mother's grave with them one day. The next day, as Evan prepares for surgery, he realizes he has approximately 3 minutes to live. When he leaves the room, the app notifies him on his phone that he has violated the agreement. Evan sees a terrifying figure behind him in the mirror, but no one is actually there. He flees to the stairwell, but they pursue. The app continues to provide him with countdown updates. His phone falls down the stairs, and when the countdown hits 0, he falls to the ground. Later, when Quinn arrives at work, Amy informs her about Evan. She recalls the application and appears distressed. Then, Quinn goes to his room, and when she sees her co-worker packing up, she informs her that she will take over. She finds his phone, and, upon realizing she needs his fingerprint to unlock it, visits his body in the facility's basement. Quinn attempts to unlock his phone with his thumb, but when that fails, she tries again with his face. She manages to open his eyes and the phone, only to discover that the countdown has reached 0. Suddenly, his hand touches her, causing her to drop the phone. When she picks it up, he turns his head and looks at her. She returns the body to the freezer. Quinn examines her phone and determines that she has less than 2 days to live. The countdown begins at the same time she will meet her father and sister at the grave of her mother. She contacts her father to cancel their plans. The application notifies her that she has violated the user agreement. When there's a person in the room, she leaves and returns to find the room empty. Dr. Sullivan scares her abruptly. He requests her assistance with a patient. However, she struggles with the machine. She wishes to depart, but he stops her. Attempt to awkwardly conceal her. The doctor makes another sexual advance, which she rejects, but he persists. When she pushes him off, he offers a phony apology. Before she can speak, she goes to find Nurse Amy and tell her what has happened. Amy is unable to inform her mother that the doctor has called. The application displays another notification. That evening, Quinn attempts to delete the app but is unsuccessful, so she searches online for it and discovers information about Courtney. She watches a video of a girl ranting about the app and claiming to be seeing her deceased cousin. The girl abruptly announces that her time is up. Then she witnesses an object, screams, and drops her phone. The comments below the video claim that it is a hoax, so Quinn relaxes a bit and closes her laptop when she suddenly sees dead Yvonne. Her phone sends another alert, so she dismisses it, but the countdown remains visible. Quinn falls asleep while driving her vehicle. She is awakened in the morning by Jordan. They ascend to her apartment, where her sister discovers her broken phone and informs her that she has only 1 more day to live. She jokes with her when she figures out how to use the app and then requests to stay with her because their father had to take an impromptu business trip. When Quinn declines, Jordan abandons the app in a rage. She scratches her finger on the broken screen as the sound repeats. Later, she is purchasing a new phone. Quinn opens the door before the man can even swipe her card. She receives a new phone and SIM card, so she checks to see if the app is present when she cannot find it. She prepares to leave, but another notification arrives, and the app is also available on her new phone. Quinn is in her car, checking the app, which has continued to count down, when she notices a sinister figure in her rear-view camera. It is only visible there. Suddenly, it grabs her from the back seat, and she crashes into another vehicle. As she falls from her own vehicle, the man from the other vehicle yells at her as a customer from the store exits the store and tells him to stop. It states that they must accept their destinies. The insane individual agrees to the terms, and the app predicts that he will live to be 91 years old. Matt and Quinn visit the hospital and speak with the priest. They inquire about his knowledge of demons, but he responds that he does not believe in them and refers them to another individual before they depart. Amy asks to talk to Quinn. Matt visits the bathroom. As he washes his hands, he notices a barefoot child under the door of his stall who is attempting to enter. He hears a child sobbing in one of the stalls, and when he investigates, he sees the barefoot child walking through the stalls as if there were nothing in between. It terminates at the final stall. When the lights go out, Matt checks the stall. There is nothing inside, but behind him something appears and calls his name. It assaults him, and when the lights are turned back on, it is gone. Meanwhile, Amy brings Quinn to an AIR meeting, and physician Sullivan. According to him, it was she who cornered him, not the other way around. The man from Human Resources. Quinn will be suspended if she begins to explain her side of the story, according to the statement. Amy confronts her, but Quinn leaves in a rage. Matt is waiting for her, but he does not inform her of the situation. He continues to hear the voice of the creature that attacked him. They enter a church in search of the man the other priest mentioned. He is located in his office. When asked about demons, he is ecstatic and immediately recalls an ancient tale. In it, a prince receives a scroll from an old gypsy woman detailing the exact time of his death. She warns him not to use the information to change his destiny. However, he persists and returns to the gypsy to inform her that death is pursuing him. The app's code is written in Latin. In the app's code, they also discover the countdowns for all users, including Derek's. He modifies all the parameters for his countdown, then searches for Quinn when they discover that her sister's countdown to her clock is nearly identical to her sister's countdown to her clock. Derek modifies it. Jordan notices the change on her phone, but the woman who is observing her steals it. As Derek drives away, Matt and Quinn thank Derek for changing their countdowns. Then, Quinn asks Matt to spend the night with her. They are preparing for bed while leaving the lights on because they are still sacred. Matt tells her about his deceased brother, while she describes her mother. They return to them before passing away. When the lights go out, they are sleeping in bed together. Quinn hears something outside the room and attempts to wake up Matt. However, the demon is in bed with her. When the actual Matt removes her bedding, the demon vanishes. The application still returns to its original countdown. She recalls her sister's countdown. In the meantime, Jordan hears her phone ring in the room of the elderly woman and goes to retrieve it. When something appears in front of her room, she realizes her countdown has changed. As Jordan investigates, the lights go out once more. She returns to her room and locks the door behind her. However, when she turns around, the door is already open. She then hides beneath her bed and hears her mother calling for her sister. Something displaces her bed and her deceased mother suddenly appears. Jordan runs to the front door where he finds Quinn and Matt. They visit the demon priest once more. He reads the code to them in Latin. This is a curse that he can break and remove from them. He believes the curse will be broken if they can keep one of them alive, longer than the app predicts. His plan is to hide in a circle of salt that has been blessed in order to keep one of them alive long enough to lift the curse. The salt is blessed by the priest, as it is spread on the ground after being mixed with paint by Quinn. The floor is painted with a circle. When they check the mod's countdown timer, he panics and steps aside, but Quinn kisses him. As the demon approaches, all of them enter the circle as the lights go out. The priest is currently praying. Although the demon appears behind them, it cannot enter the circle. When the app begins playing, the priest attempts to send it back to hell. A toy robot suddenly reaches the circle that only Matt can see. His sibling appears and entices him to leave the circle. Demon seizes him and carries him away. As Quinn approaches Matt, a car strikes him, killing him with the countdown in effect. Jordan is injured, so Quinn transports her to the hospital, where a doctor treats her sister. They reconcile, and Jordan declares that they will at least spend their final moments together. Quinn does not believe they will perish, as she has a plan. She enters Dr. Sullivan's office and manipulates him by apologizing to him. He sees right through her and inquires as to her desires. She states that she wants her job back and instructs him to follow her down a closed passageway. Moments later, the doctor enters and searches the closed wing for her, discovering clothing fragments on the ground. He is participating in a game with Quinn. She strikes him with a wrench and then attempts to inject him with morphine when Jordan intervenes and stops the demon. The doctor is dragged away by the demon. Quinn believes that if she kills him before his countdown, the curse will be broken, so she goes in search of him. Jordan searches for her while her app indicates she has less than 2 minutes to live. The demon suddenly appears behind her. During this time, Point is still searching for the physician when she hears something. He knocks her unconscious and prepares to kill her. However, she pursues him again. She pursues him, but the demon pushes her away, allowing him to escape. Quinn has a second idea. She injects it into Quinn's arm, and it reverses the effects of the morphine, reviving her. Later, as they prepare to depart, Quinn, Jordan, and their father visit their mother's grave. She receives a notification. The beta version of the Countdown application has been installed on her phone, and in the after credits scene, Derek is seen on a date with a woman. His date is dissatisfied and uses the loo prior to their departure. Derek receives a notification from the app that counts down his remaining minutes. The lights go out, and along with Derek's screams, a demonic sound can be heard. Be sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you can view similar videos. Thank you for viewing.